Okay, so for this cardigan, the one that I was wearing, I used Soft and Sleek low pill fiber. This is an acrylic. It's 478 yards. The color is linen, and it's from Hobby Lobby. I showed that in a previous video, my Hobby Lobby tour. It is a 3-weight. It calls for a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook. I went up to a 5 millimeter, and that's what I'm going to do with this next one because I want it a little bit drapier. So I will be using this 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. It's a Susan Bates. See if it'll focus. It's a Susan Bates 5.5 millimeter. Any 3-weight yarn will work, or DK weight will work. Any yarn will work for that matter. You just have to do your, because this is all done by measurements, you just have to do your measurements. Every other week Hobby Lobby has this yarn on sale at 30% off, so it's not $4.99, it's like $3.49. It took me, I can't remember if I did 3 skeins. I'm thinking 3 skeins to make this cardigan, or 3 balls. I don't know what you call this, balls, whatever, to make this cardigan. So you may need less, you may need more, depending on your size. So to figure that out, if it took me 3 skeins, it took me roughly 400, say 500, it took me roughly 1,500 yards to make this cardigan in a 4X. So, you know, figure it out from there. If you're a 2X, you'll probably need about 1,200. An extra large will probably need about 1,000. I would buy more than, you know, I'd buy an extra ball just in case you don't finish it out. And there's some other things that I did not do that you may want to do on your cardigan, and I will go through that here in a little bit. Like mine doesn't have sleeves on it. You may want to put a little bit of a cap sleeve on there. This is the yarn that I'm going to use this time. This is a 2-weight yarn, so I may need a little extra. But it looks to be really close, and I show this in the Hobby Lobby video. It looks to be really close to the actual size of the Soft and Sleek. This is Yarntopia in Blush. The color is Blush. And it calls for a 4.5 millimeter hook, which I will be using my 5.5. I am going to go up a couple of sizes. It's 100% acrylic. It has 312 yards. So to get 1,500, I'm going to need at least 5 skeins of this. And I've already got it bought, so we're good with that. Hi, and welcome into Rebeccakaycrochet. This is the tutorial for the cardigan. And what you're going to need is your crochet hook, possibly a pin. You're going to need some stitch markers. You're going to need a darning needle and a pair of scissors. Maybe possibly a piece of paper. I'll move that over to the side. Now on mine, I need to crochet 270 chains to begin with. That's the length that I want mine to be. You're going to have to figure out how long you want yours to be. Then what you're going to, I've already got my chains done. So pause the video right here, and well, before you pause it, let me tell you, halfway through your chains, you're going to place a stitch marker at the halfway point between your chains. Mine was 135. I did 270 chains plus the 2 I need on the end, because this is a multiple of 6 plus 2 for your stitches. So anything that's a multiple of 6 will work, and then plus 2 will work also. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you with this yarn, and if I don't think it's going to look right, I will show you with a larger yarn. So pause the video, get your amount of stitches that you need, and then come back. Okay, so now what I need to do, since I have my stitch marker placed, in the 3rd chain I need to double crochet, and we're going to double crochet all the way down our chain. So 1, 2, 3, that's the 3rd chain. I need to double crochet. And to double crochet, you yarn over, poke it through, yarn over, bring up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. We continue all the way down in this manner until we have gone to the last stitch on our hook. And I'll do this with you a couple of times because I'm using so much bigger hook. These stitches may grow just a little bit, but it'll work out in the end. It'll be just fine. Your first row is always your fiddliest row. It's the row that takes the longest is the very first row. That's just the way the nature of the beast is. I was telling you this in a different video, but when I crochet, I poke it to my middle finger. I always do that. It's how I count my stitches, how I do everything. So I'm going to turn you off, and I will meet you at the end of this row and show you what to do next. Okay, now that we're at the end of our double crochet row, which is way back over here, the beginning, it's right here. What we are going to do is we are going to make sure I don't have my tail and get my hands in the frame. That would be good, wouldn't it? We're going to chain 2. Then we're going to turn our work. We're going to double crochet in the same stitch. That chain 2 does not count as a double crochet. It's just getting us up to where we need to be. And then we are going to chain 2. We're going to skip 2, 1, 2, and in that 3rd one, we're going to single crochet. And then we're going to chain 2. We're going to skip 2, and then we're going to double crochet. Chain 2, and double crochet back down in there in that same stitch to create a V-stitch. Let me get some more yarn here. And then we're going to chain 2, and we're going to repeat. We're going to chain 2, skip 2, 1, 2, single crochet, chain 2, skip 2, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, skip 2, 1, 2, single crochet. So our repeat is, this is what it's turning out like. Our repeat is single crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet in the same stitch, chain 2, skip 2, single crochet, skip 2, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet in the same stitch. That's our repeat all the way across. I'll do it with you a little bit more. So now we've got a single crochet, so we're going to chain 2, skip 2, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet back into that same stitch, chain 2, skip 2, single crochet, chain 2, skip 2, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet in the same stitch, chain 2, skip 2, single crochet, and you repeat that all the way across, and you're going to get these bumps and valleys, bump, valley, bump, because you're going to have an extended V-stitch in the middle, and we're going to come back and work in those V-stitches on the next row. Now I'll be back whenever I'm done with the end of this. Now we're at the end of our row, which is looking like this. And what we do is we skip 2, and in that third one we single crochet just like before, because we did the double crochet, chain 2 there, V-stitch, and at this very end stitch we're going to chain 1 and we're going to double crochet in the last stitch. Then we are going to chain 3, turn our work, and in this same stitch, because these do not count as our stitches, in this same stitch right here we're going to treble crochet, and a treble crochet is yarn 2 over, go into the stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now in this space right here, this chain 1 space, we're going to do a double or a treble crochet 2 together. That's yarn over twice, pull a loop up, and in that space pull through 2, pull through 2. We have 2 loops left on our hook. We're going to yarn over twice again, go back in that same stitch, and we are going to bring up a loop. We should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on our hook. We're going to pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through the last 3. And that creates a treble 2 together. We're going to skip all the stitches and we're going to work into these V-stitches that we created. So what we're going to do in those is we're going to create our flower for the tulip, and we're going to yarn over twice, and we're going to do 3 treble crochets, 2 together 3 times. So we're going to yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over, leaving 2 loops on our hook. We are not going to finish it, and we are going to yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, then pull through 3. That's our first treble 2 together created. We're going to chain 2. Actually, I'm just going to chain 1. I like the look of it better. And then we're going to do it again. Treble 2 together. Yarn over twice. Pull through 2, pull through 2, 3 loops left on our hook, and we're going to pull through all 3. Let me pull this out of the way so you can see better. Didn't realize that was back there. Okay, so we're going to do that one more time. We're going to yarn over twice. We're going to go back into our V-stitch right there. We are going to pull up a loop. We're going to pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, leaving 2 on our hook. We're going to do that again, yarn over twice. We're going to pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, and then pull through the last 3. Now that gives us 3 on our hook. Now we're going to do that again. Yarn over twice, go to the next V-stitch, pull up a loop, go through 2, go through 2, yarn over twice, go through 2, go through 2, and then pull through all 3. Now we're going to do chain 1, and we're going to do that again. Yarn over twice, go through that stitch, pull through 2, pull through 2. Let me back up just a little bit. Okay, we've got a chain 1. Now we're going to yarn over twice, pull through 2, pull through 2. Now we've got to keep this tight. You want to keep that stitch tight so it doesn't get too big. We have 2 on our hook, yarn over twice, go in, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, and then we're going to pull through 3 loops, all 3 loops on our hook. So now we have 2 clusters done. Chain 1, yarn over twice, pull up a loop, go through 2 and go through 2, do it again. Pull through 2, pull through 2, and then pull through all 3. And there's your 3 clusters. We're going to do that one more time. Yarn over twice. Go into our next V-stitch, which is right here. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, wrap it around twice again, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, and then pull through 3. Your first cluster's made. Now we're going to chain 1, wrap it around twice, pull through 2, pull through 2, leaving 2 on our hook, wrap it around twice, pull through 2, pull through 2, and then pull through all 3. Chain 1 and repeat. Wrap it around twice, pull through 2, pull through 2, wrap it around, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, and then pull through all 3. And this is what you should be looking like. You should have your clusters going. And this is what it should look like. You have a cluster here on the end, and then you have clusters. You do not chain in between your clusters, only in between your petals of your tulip. Do this all the way across till the very end of your panel, and I will meet you back at the end. These are treble crochet clusters, 2 together, 3 in a stitch. So if you have trouble, rewatch the video as many times as you need. Slow it down, speed it up, whatever you need to do, and I will see you in just a little bit. Okay, so now we're at the end of the row. We're doing our last cluster of treble 2 together. And then in this stitch, we're going to skip over and we're going to do a treble 2, 1 treble 2 together. Just like that. And then we're going to do 1 treble crochet in the top of that stitch at the very end. And it should look like that. And this is what it should look like all the way down your row. Now to do the next one, what we are going to do is we're going to chain 2, which brings us up to that height we need, and we're going to go right back into this one, and we are going to do a double crochet, chain 1, and we're going to do a double crochet into this stitch right here in between the double treble, or the treble 2 together, and this treble in that space, that large space right there. We're going to do a double crochet. We're going to chain 1, we're going to skip over this treble, double treble 2 together, and we're going to chain, or we're going to double crochet in the next space. Chain 1, skip this, double crochet into that space. Chain 1 and double crochet into this space. Let me slow that down for you just a little bit. I might have gone too fast there. So we double crochet here. I don't know if you can see that. We chain 2, we double crochet. Then we chain 1, double crochet into this space because the chain 1 is skipping over this double treble 2 together right here. We go in this one and we double crochet. Chain 1 in this one, double crochet in between these 2 stitches here. Chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. I'll do that with you a little bit more. We chain 1 and we double crochet in the spaces. We are not double crocheting in any stitch. Chain 1, double crochet in the next space. 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 Chain 1 and double crochet in the next space. And you do that all the way across, and it should divide up your tulip stitch just a little bit more. And you do this all the way down, and it's just a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and you just repeat that all the way down in the spaces and not in any stitches, just in between the stitches. And I will meet you back here for the next round. Okay, let me show you something that you may be wondering about. Whenever you're doing your double crochets into between your 2 tulip flowers, that's what we're going to call these, in between these 2, you may have a larger space, and that's okay because your double crochet is going to bring that back in, but you don't want a great big, you don't want it to be huge. You want it to keep it as small as possible. And sometimes whenever I do this, whenever I first started doing this tulips or this treble 2 together or the tulip stitch, what I did was I wrapped the yarn twice around my finger. Hang on. Okay, sorry about that. My dogs were barking. Okay, so you don't want this to be too far apart. Like that is okay. You'll see some places are wider than others, and you'll be tighter here. And what I normally had to do whenever I first started doing this stitch was I had to wrap the yarn twice around my finger to make it tighter so that I would not have that large of a gap in between. But you'll pick it up and it'll tighten up with this next stitch. So you don't have to worry about it that bad. I just wanted to tell you it's okay if you have a little bit of a gap, but you don't want too big of a gap because it'll make it look sloppy. Like, that's okay. But too big of a gap, it'll come out looking sloppy and you'll have to redo it. So it's better to get your tension down on the first row and repeat the first row if you have to, versus going on and then having to take it all out once you get your tension down. It's, you can hold it like I'm doing right now. I don't normally hold my yarn this way. but you can hold it like that just till you get your tension down. And then once you get your tension down, you can let loose and not have to do that. But mainly it's in between. I noticed that mine was in between the stitches, in between the flower petals, more so than, you know, in between each petal of the flower. So that was just a little bit of a hint that I wanted to give you. And I will see you at the very end. Okay, here we are at the last cluster right here. We just did this one. And we are going to double crochet in between these two on the very end. And then we're going to chain one, and we are going to double crochet in the top of our double crochet on the very end. Then we are going to chain two, does not count as a stitch, and we're going to go right back into that same double crochet, or the double crochet below, and we're going to double crochet, and we're not going to chain this time. We're going to go into every stitch, even the ones in between. So we are going to go into the second stitch. We did the one in between. Now we're going to go into the next one, and we're going to go into the stitch in between right here. And we're going to go into this one. And now our stitches will start widening out a little bit. And we're going to go into this one in between. And the pattern will be, you go into the top of the double crochets, and then with a double crochet, and you double crochet in between in the chain space. So on the top of the double crochet, you do a double crochet, and in between the two double crochets, you do a double crochet. So each stitch is going to get a double crochet in it, all the way across. You're just going to go all the way across with your double crochet, and I will meet you, if my yarn would stop splitting, I will meet you at the end. Just a double crochet all the way down. And I'll be back. Okay, and this is what it should look like whenever you get to the third row, and see how it's more defined now. And whenever you do this, then what you're going to do is you're going to repeat row 2, 3, 4, and 5. And if you need to, go back and rewatch the video to figure out what row 2 is, row 3 is, row 4, which is this holy one right here, and row 5. And you repeat that sequence, those repeats, until you make it as wide as you need it across your body. It'll go across your shoulder, breast, and under your arm. You make it as wide. Mine's 13 inches. I can go 14 or 15 inches if I want to, unless I block it. Now, when I block it, it will spread out quite a bit. If you're not going to block it, you will need more rows. But if you are going to block it, then you need less rows. So, and this is adjustable. This pattern is adjustable. So what that means is when we get it where we put in the other panel on, because this is it's actually one whole panel, but it looks like two. But when we start with the other side, our panels are going to be worked out. So let me show you with the other one. Hang on. So this is the middle of the back right here. And our tulips are going towards the outside of our body on both sides, because this is the middle of the back and it's going towards the outside of our body. So what that means is right here, when we go to put them together underneath the armpit, it is worked like the arm right here. It is worked going towards our arm. And this is all going towards the outside. So if you try this on and it's not quite as big as you want it to be, then you can add on another repeat. You'll add on this much more right here to here, then you'll add on another repeat. Even if you've got it, as long as you do not stitch it under the armpit, you can add it on. Even if you try it on after you've stitched it, you can undo your stitching and make it bigger. So that's just a design element that I did because I never know if it's going to be big enough or not, and I don't like to math, so I just try it on as I go. I can math, but I just try it on as I go, and if I'm like, oh, I need another row, I just add another row onto it. And then I find out how many rows I have, and I repeat it on the other side, but we'll deal with that whenever we get to it. I'm just saying that don't worry about getting not enough rows because you can always add on to your side. Just worry about doing your repeats, and as many repeats as you think that you need to the measurement from the middle of your chest or your bust to under your armpit. And we'll go from there. Okay, I want to show you how you can tell that you're doing these stitches correctly. And the way you know is that the tulip stitch, which has got these 3 petals right here, lines up this stitch. See how this is coming out of the middle of the tulip stitch? Well, the V-stitch up here, this V-stitch needs to be lined up with the middle stitch right here of the tulip below. If this is off 1 or 2, you're going to be off all the way down. And this stitch right here, your single crochet that you're doing, I don't know if you can see that, needs to be lined up with the middle double crochet between the 2 tulips. And if those 2 are not lined up, you're going to be off. Your pattern will be off. Like right here, I'm off. See this right here? My stitch is not lined up. This stitch is not lined up, so I've miscounted in here. Now, here's the other thing that you can do. I'm going to have to rip back here. But here's the other thing that you can do on this. This is a very forgiving pattern. This one's here, but I have either miscounted or done something, or I don't have the right amount of stitches right here. This one lines up. So is that going to bother me? Probably not. They're close enough together, so I will leave those, but you can just rip back. And you have 2 stitches here. If you have to, you can go back 1 stitch, and nobody's going to know that you went back here to this stitch to line this up more evenly. You're going to be the only person that knows. It's okay. This is a recipe. This is not a 100% you must do this. You just need your pattern to be straight across. And I'm telling you, I fudge most of my patterns like this just to make sure that it's visually pleasing to the eye. And a lot of crocheters do that. They don't tell you that, but they do that, and it's okay. You're going to be the only one that knows that you didn't skip 2 stitches. You only skipped 1. Nobody's going to be looking at your clothes that closely to know, oh, she only skipped 1. She didn't skip 2 where she was supposed to. Or you skipped 3 instead of 2. It's okay. This, like I said, these are recipes. It's a pattern that, you can fudge here and there and move it over and do what you need to. But is that going to bother me? This one right here, is it going to bother me? I can't hardly see it now, but is this one going to bother me? Probably not. I will go on, and if I decide, well, that one's really bothering me, it's close enough, it's 1 stitch over, it's close enough that I may not take it out, and then again I may. But I wanted you to see that if they're not, and that's what they look like, they'll be off. You should be in this stitch right here and I'm in this stitch. But see, whenever I do that, I will have to come one stitch closer, and this one will have to be one stitch closer to be lined up correctly. Now my stitch count here is correct, so how did I get off? I don't know. I may have gone 3 over here somewhere to get off. But it doesn't bother me that bad to change that, but if it bothers you, go back and make the adjustments that you need. And if you move this one, you probably need to move this one also because it's not lining up. It should be in this stitch right here. It's not lining up either. See, they should be stacked on top of each other, and I'm one stitch over. And let's see, this one's correct. This one looks to be one stitch over. So we will see if I change it or if I don't. I don't know yet. But that's what I wanted to let you know, is that's how you know that you're in the right, in the right stitches. It needs to go straight up from this one right here, straight up to here, to here, to here. You can see that's straight up. This one's straight up. And this one's more so straight up. See, this one's straight up from there. That one's straight up. And that's what you want. You want it to go straight up. You don't want it to be one stitch over one way or the other, because it will throw your pattern off. And you can see whenever it's just laying here which ones are off. If you look really close, you can tell that this one right here is off. Is it off enough? I don't know. We will see, because I straightened back out over here somehow. So I don't know. I'll probably rip it out. It'll probably drive me crazy. But that's what I wanted to let you know, is that's what you're looking for. You want to go straight up with these. And that way your V-stitches and your tulips will line up all the way. And I'll get my other one out and show you. Okay, here's the other one just laid out on the table. The panel is laid out on the table. And see right here, you can see where I got off. I got off on this row right here. This row is the hardest row because you have to make sure that this row and this row, these line up. And I got off, and there's no, does it bother me? No. Am I gonna go and rip out my whole entire cardigan? No. Nobody, no two things are perfect. I'm not a perfect person. And sometimes I get off on rows, but I wanted to show you that it's okay to be off, but you want it more so like this, where you're going straight up and doing the things that need to be done straight up versus being off. Does it look bad? No. Could you guys tell it in the photos? No. It's all whatever, but if you want it to be perfect, that's what you need to do. And that's the thing I figured out whenever I found out I was off down here. I was like, how do I know that I'm off? And I thought, well, when I figured out I was off, I was way up here and I didn't want to rip all this back. So I just figured out that these need to be even with these. This goes in the middle of the stitch. And then this single crochet here needs to be lined up with the double crochet down below. And as long as you get those two lined up, you won't be off at all. And you'll be able to tell all of this. But yes, I'm being real. I'm showing that I am off, and it happens. And this was part of my design. This was part of my learning curve on this stitch, part of my design process on this stitch. And that's what happens. And everybody's human. But I just wanted you to know this one's not perfect. Yours may not be perfect either, and that's okay. Because you really can't tell it when I put it on. You can't tell that these rows don't line up. But they don't. Laying on the table, they do not line up. So there is that. I'll be back.